So you've heard about dropshipping, maybe you've watched some of my past videos and how much money can be made with the business, and now you're wondering, how do I do it? Well, you have come to the right place. In this video, I'll be pulling the curtains back on my entire dropshipping business structure from A to Z and stepping in your shoes as a beginner starting dropshipping in 2024. This is coming from someone who's done this since 2017. So my whole entire goal with this video is to give you a new way of dropshipping, a whole new blueprint, and breaking down every single step along the way. Now, if you're going to exit out of this video or something like that and try to watch another tutorial, before you do, just understand a lot of people right now are saying that you should find a winning product, then build your website, then run ads. I'm telling you right now, that way of dropshipping is flawed and it is outdated. And so if you want up-to-date and valuable information that you can directly apply right now that will actually make you successful, then watch this whole entire video till the end, because I promise you, you will not want to miss it. There's going to be an absurd amount of value and it's completely free. So with all that said, this is going to be a completely free dropshipping course, from finding a niche to picking your product to your website to running ads to scaling and everything else in between. Now, this isn't, again, a short video, so make sure you have everything closed out and focus on this entire video. Take notes, make sure you're applying everything as you watch it, and bookmark the video if you'd like to watch it over again, because I don't really think there's going to be this amount of value on YouTube anywhere else. I will also have timestamps in the description, and the whole video will be timestamped on YouTube, so you can go ahead and skip through multiple different sections if you need to come back and watch anything else. With all of that said, let's get into how you can grow a dropshipping store from scratch right now. So let's begin. To start out with this free course, I want to address something simple. What is dropshipping and how does it work? Well, a lot of people, they say dropshipping is dead or dropshipping doesn't work. It's simply a means of fulfillment. You don't ever own the product. So if I make a website, I sell phone cases for 20 bucks. Let's say I have a supplier who will get them for me for $5, and then I sell them to you for $20 online. I never touch the product. The moment you place an order on my website, you pay me 20 bucks. I have the $20. I give the supplier $5, and then he sends the product directly to you. So it's just a means of fulfillment. Dropshipping will never die. It will never be dead. It will never be over competitive. You just have to be smart about the way you do it. That's a very oversimplified definition of dropshipping, which is why this video will now get into all of the micro steps leading up to having that store where you can make money and sell products at a markup. So with all of that being said, let's get into step one of this entire free course. Welcome to step one of dropshipping. This is the fundamental part of the business that will honestly separate the winners from the losers. And it's something that I talked about in the last two videos I've posted about how there's a new way to dropship. And the old way is, again, find a product, build a website, run ads, and it's outdated because as a beginner, how could you find a winning product if you've never had a winning product? I'm sure you've probably seen videos where they tell you that, they say, find a winning product, and you're like, I don't really know what that is. And so that's why the new step one, which is what I'm coming up with, is niche research. So what is niche research? Well, instead of finding a product and going through all of these different product research methods, picking random products, why not find a really quality niche and then figure out products? That is the basis of dropshipping, and this is step one. Now, if you have no clue what niche to sell in or what to pick, it's completely fine. I don't expect you to, but I'm going to explain my brain and how I think about it, and hopefully we give you some cool visuals along the way so you can see what I'm talking about and see how I'm thinking about this when I'm picking a niche to sell in. And by the end of this, you should understand niche research at a very deep level. Before we get into finding a niche, I want you to understand there are a few key things that the niche has to have and fit into in order to be valid, to actually consider selling it. It has to have passion. So what I mean by that is you can't sell something that no one's passionate about. It also has to be broad. What I mean by that is a phone case. Anyone with an iPhone would buy a phone case. That's pretty broad. It also has to have some sort of emotion. So an example of that would be people who like dogs. A lot of people, they love their dogs. Their dogs are like their babies. That has a lot of emotion behind it, which is why the dog and overall pet niche is a really good niche. On top of that, whoever's in the niche has to have disposable income. So that way they can spend money and justify spending money on whatever you end up selling. And the last thing is potential insecurities. This is something that's not as traditionally talked about. However, it's something that we focus on heavily. And an example of this, which leads me into how you can actually find the niche. Before I get to that though, your niche that you pick doesn't have to fit all of that for the criteria. It should have most, and the more the merrier. However, if it's missing maybe one, like it doesn't have much emotion or something, it's not the end of the world. However, just keep in mind that's a rough criteria for what we use to find niches. So what's an example of potential insecurities? Let's just use something like the beauty niche. This checks pretty much all of the boxes. We have women who shop, who buy things online, who are passionate about looking better, who are potentially insecure about their looks, who have money to spend because they probably work at Starbucks or have a nice corporate job and they can spend money on beauty things. And there's some emotion tied to it, whether it be buying something because they've seen someone famous using the same beauty product, or maybe they've seen it on TikTok and they want to be cool and have that new latest and greatest beauty tool. Whatever the case may be, most women will shop for beauty products, and it's an overall amazing niche because of that reason, because most women would buy a product inside that niche, and honestly, most do. Now, that is a very broad niche, and when you're doing your research, you don't have to do the beauty niche. I'm just saying this as an example. You can think of tons of other stuff. Like, for example, another niche would be the car accessory niche. Most Americans have a car and drive their car almost every single day, and that brings great opportunity because you could sell products in the car accessory niche to make someone's car look cooler, make it look more unique, make it sound cooler, and something along those lines just to make someone's car stand out. That way you have some sort of cool product that checks most of the niche's boxes. Overall though, this is an important step, and I know it's not like you have to go to a spy tool. It's more so do a lot of thinking and research on your own before you can come to conclusions for niches. However, you want to just make sure you hyper focus on something more specific. So when I said beauty is very broad. What I would personally do is I'd break it down. I'd say, what in the beauty niche can I sell in? Well, let's just think. Girls, a lot of the times, have a few different insecurities. It could be something like a small butt, small breasts, maybe discolored teeth. Maybe their teeth are yellow. Maybe they don't have good skin. So maybe they could use like a little skin roller or something. Maybe their hair isn't thick and they could use a little skin presser or the stamp thing. Maybe they don't like their eyelashes. Maybe they don't like the wrinkles on their forehead. Whatever the case may be, there are so many different little sub niches in the beauty niche that still are extremely broad that you can then hyper focus on and sell within whatever one of those sub niches you decide to sell in. So for this instance, I want to hyper focus on one specific niche, and then we can go from there. I'm going to pick the wrinkle niche because I like it a lot. I think it's a good niche. I don't personally sell in it right now. I've thought of it. I haven't ever done it though. And so the reason I think it's a good niche is because it's broad. A lot of people, most women actually, have wrinkles at some point in their life, whether it be when they're 30, 40, 50, whatever. People get wrinkles. I myself will probably get wrinkles. Maybe not because I've got amazing skin, but most people get wrinkles. And so knowing that, it makes a beautiful product overall category. Now, why is this a better approach than just finding a product in the shotgun method where you just spam test a ton of random products? Well, I explained this in the video I posted previously, the one right before this. However, I'll quickly go over it and then we can keep it moving. Picking random products will not benefit you long term if you're hopping around from niche to niche, because you won't ever get a deep understanding at your target demographic, simply because you're in all sorts of different niches. So if you pick something, let's just say the wrinkle niche, and you sell in it for the next 3 months straight. You don't veer off, you just stay selling wrinkle products. If one doesn't work, you hop into something else. If you do this, I promise you, you will learn so much about that niche in those 3 months compared to someone who, let's just say, watched someone else on YouTube who said, find a product first and just spam test products. They're going to just be a generalist where they understand all these different niches a little bit, but they don't really know much about individual niches because they've just kind of tested all around. And so keep that in mind when you're going through this entire process. It's a long-term approach. However, after a few months of trying this out, you're going to be so educated on who you're selling to. Everything in between will be extremely easy for you, and you will have an edge compared to all these other beginner dropshippers who are starting off with the wrong step. All right, now that you have a niche, The next thing you need to do is find a winning product. This is where I will get onto my computer and I'll screen share and show you a few free ways to find winning products. Again, they're completely free. I'm not going to show any crazy softwares because I don't think they are that necessary. And these methods are very simple to do. Anyone who's a beginner, even if you've never dropshipped, you can do all these methods. They're very, very simple. And overall, product research becomes a lot easier when you know what you're looking for compared to just having some guru tell you, hey, go find a winning product when you're a beginner. Now you know the niche you're selling in. So for this one, again, I will continue throughout this entire video to use the wrinkle niche and go through every step of the way for finding the product and then building the website and then running ads later. But for now, we'll get into finding a few quality products inside the wrinkle niche, and I will show you the whole thought process, brain map laid out for what I do when I'm looking for a product. That way, by the end of this little part of the video, you will know exactly how to find a really quality winning product. So with that said, let's get into the product research module inside this free course. Welcome to the product research section of this free training. I'm going to be looking at my computer because before we get into the product research, I'm going to give you 3 different ways to find products. But before I show you that, I want to give you my $100,000 per month product research blueprint. This consists of a list of different criterias that I personally use when finding every single product, similar to the niche research criteria, just to ensure you're finding quality products and not shitty ones. So here it is. I'll have it on the screen and I will go over it with you. Number 1 is going to be a wow product. This is something that's visually appealing or it has some type of unique design. Number 2, I want it to be cheap to ship and easy to ship. This means no desks, no tables, no gun safes, nothing crazy, because I need something to be small, cheap, and easy to ship. Number 3, it can be sold in multiples. I've sold millions of dollars in clothing, and I do a lot of clothing niche sales because you can sell a ton of product inside the clothing niche. So that's number 3. Number 4, it can be gifted. This means you can sell something that someone else can buy as a gift. And again, it doesn't have to fit into all of these criterias, but it does help for sure. Number 5, something a person can buy year round. Seasonal products are great, but selling year round products are even more profitable. Number 6, has at least a 3x markup. If you source something for $10, let's say this phone case, you need to be able to sell it for $30. Number 7, you need to have 3 angles to sell the product. This just means you need different ways to approach who you're selling to make sure there's a creative way for you to get at it. Number 8, it has some type of passionate audience, just like the niche research. Number 9, solves someone's problems, just like niche research. Number 10, there's someone else selling a similar product. This is good because it validates exactly what you're trying to sell and lets you know that, hey, maybe this is a good product if other people are selling it. Number 11, it can fix someone's pain points fast and easy. This is important because people like to buy things to solve problems, and if you can solve them quickly, it works. Number 12, it can be sold for around $20 to $60. Number 13, has other products that you can upsell with. Those last 2 are important because you want good profit margins. You want to sell a product that's a little bit expensive, that way you can make some money. And if you have products you can upsell with a product you're selling, you could have a higher LTV and AOV, which is average order value. That means the average customer spends a little bit more money, making your life easier because you don't have to spend a whole lot on ads, or you can spend more on ads to still have good profits. So that's a long list. I know it's pretty long. Your product doesn't have to fit in that entire list. However, what I've found is the most profitable products I've sold fit mostly into that list. And so again, when you're doing research, don't be a noob. Like a lot of people watch videos and they half-ass everything about dropshipping and then they fail and wonder why it didn't work. Be strategic, be planned out, be organized with this. Find products that are quality with the routes or strategies I'm about to show you, but then just think logically about all of the stuff you're doing and make sure you're applying a strategy to this as if it's a game of chess, not just a game of, pin the tail on the horse where you're just blindly trying to pin it there and hope you get close. So with all of that said, I want you to, again, keep all of that in mind. And I'm going to give you 3 easy ways to find winning products products for free. I don't want to pitch tons of different softwares and apps and all that stuff because you don't really need it, especially again, like I said, finding a niche first makes this whole process a lot easier. And keep in mind, while this video is going to be around 2 to 3 hours long, there is an even longer free tutorial I'll have linked below. It's like this, but maybe 3 to 4 times the length, and just goes into even greater depth on everything in regards to dropshipping. It's also at howtodropship.com. So if you want to check that out, I'll have a link below. Again, it's a free course. With that said though, let's get into everything about product research, starting with research method number 1, I call the Amazon method. And I know it sounds a little weird because we're selling on Shopify, but I will get into that and I will start screen recording and show you exactly how you can find quality products to sell from Amazon. The Amazon method is pretty damn simple, but basically it involves just searching up your niche. It's not, again, too complicated. So for this one, I will type in wrinkle and we'll just hit enter and see what we come up with. Basically, the whole goal here is to find cool products that you could drop ship. I like to stay away from serums for now. And so if you see vitamin serums or collagen or something, I would stay away from that. However, I see some wrinkle patches, which could potentially work. So we'll keep that product in mind. And we will just essentially scroll through here, look for some sort of cool product that we could potentially source ourselves and put it on a list that we could potentially then sell the product. So I'm seeing a lot of patches and little wrinkle patches to solve the wrinkles, the wrinkle problem. I'm seeing a lot of these. I've even seen my girlfriend wear some of these, so it's cool to see that. I also see right here, this is a triple action wrinkle remover for skincare. It's tightening and da-da-da-da. So we can check this out and see if the product is good. It looks cool to me. I don't personally have wrinkles, so I don't know how the hell this would work for me. And it probably wouldn't do anything, but it could work because I'm seeing a lot of people have some really good reviews on it. All you do then, once you find this product or whatever product, cross-reference that list I gave you of all of the different checklist things you need to look for when selling a product and make sure it fits into that list. And this one definitely does. It's $59. It can be sold to anyone. It has some form of emotion because this can easily fix wrinkles. And there's different angles to sell the product with. So anti-aging and collagen, soothe inflammation. This one has 7 different angles to sell the product, which is really good. So we can keep this tab open, and after just a minute or two, we've already found a cool product that we could potentially sell. What I will do is get 2 to 5 products on each research method, and then we will figure out what the best product is. After finding that product, I'll just simply keep scrolling through Amazon until I find something else. There's an ice roller, but it's $6. I don't think there's high perceived value with a little ice roller. I personally used to drop ship that on TikTok a while ago, and it was like maybe $10 shipped that I would sell it for. So that's a no bueno product. And then let's just keep moving and see what else we can find. This is an anti-wrinkle neck patch. However, it has terrible reviews. 2.5 stars is no good. And so we will just keep scrolling through until we find something. This is a potentially cool product, but their reviews are bad as well. 2.6 out of 5. That is not good. And we will just go away emojis. We'll just keep looking. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's not too difficult. If you don't find anything with just typing in wrinkle, what you can do is you can do, wrinkle patches, wrinkle cream, wrinkle release spray. That's for clothes, I believe. Wrinkle remover, wrinkle serum. So what we can do is go into wrinkle patches and then do some more deep diving. And we see there are some Amazon, that's pain relief. Facial patches from Frownies. We have forehead wrinkle patches. These have a shit ton of reviews, 32,000. Holy crap, 40,000 bought in the last month. Man, they're probably doing $1 million a month on Amazon. So that means this is potentially a really good product. Good shit for them. So that could be a really good product. It fits into the product pricing structure. It also solves a problem. And it's overall a cool product. It's very broad. This is something that is great because you could sell this over and over again. So of these 40,000 units bought last month, how many do you think came back after already running out of their first batch of these 144 patches and were like, shit, I don't want to get my wrinkles back. I have to keep using these patches. Probably a good amount. And so that's a good thing to keep in mind anytime you guys are looking for a product, which is why I like this product. And I think we're going to call it at these 2 for the method. But if you guys want to do more deep diving, definitely do. And just try to, figure out, find some cool products that aren't serums that you could source and that you think have some winning potential. And then that's pretty much it. That's honestly the Amazon method. Very simple, doesn't require any sort of secret spy tool or crazy search tactics or anything. It's just good old basic searching and then scrolling. And so I'll show you two more methods. The last one is going to kind of seal the deal with all the products that we find and confirm which ones we can actually sell. And I'll show you why as well. But with all of that said, that was the Amazon method, and that is the first way of finding products. In the next one, I will show you another way of finding products, kind of similar to this, but a little different. And this should also help you out very much with finding winning products. And this method is free as well. So should be nice. So let's go through the next product research method. This is the second method for finding winning products, and it's with Google. Very, very simple. All you need to do is type in whatever the hell you're trying to sell, whatever niche it is. For this example, I'm typing in wrinkle care. And as we can see, we already have some cool products. So we have this little therapy mask that has some red light to help your skin. You also have an anti-aging laser, and then another light right here that we saw on Amazon. And so there are already some cool products, but if you don't find any, what you can then do is start to go through some of these Google sponsored listings right here and see what products are popping up. So this is a moisturizer. I'm gonna skip that. We can go through some of these other ones and see what's up. These are also serums. If that doesn't work, what you can do is go to shopping and you'll find some really cool products on here. So we can go through and figure out what we could sell doing this. And then all we do is the same thing as Amazon. We just keep scrolling through and figure out what we want to sell. So I'm seeing a lot of little rejuvenation devices and lasers and lights and stuff like that. Those are cool products and they could definitely sell well. However, it poses a threat because you're putting that device on the skin, and I'd rather have it be something simple like a wrinkle patch than it be some crazy light that probably is expensive, because if you're selling a laser or a light device, you have to have a higher perceived value and a higher price. Otherwise, people just won't even trust your product. And so for that reason, I think I'm going to go with the wrinkle patches. So we can search and see if there are a lot on Google Ads. And yeah, there actually are quite a bit, and it validates what we're trying to do, which is potentially sell these wrinkle patches. So whatever niche you're in, you want to do the same thing. So for example, car accessories, we can try it with a different niche just to kind of give you a good example. We have a lot of car fresheners. We've got a remote start system. We have car steering wheel covers, a storage little container, seat covers, tons of little cool things. This one is an organizer. This is a seat gap filler. I actually have one of those in my truck. And so a lot of other cool products. Here's a cool cup holder. This would work actually very well. Most cars don't have enough cup holders. There are a lot of cool products that you could potentially sell just by looking up whatever niche you're trying to sell in. So this is another good research method. Again, it's free and it's not that difficult to do. The final one, which is the third one, it will be on my phone and it'll be with TikTok. And it's the final method that I personally use to just seal the deal with whatever product I'm trying to sell, because then this is where we can find video ads. We can find a ton of content that we can then potentially use to run as ads. That way we don't have to make content ourselves. Knowing that, I'm going to get into my phone and show you the third and final product research method. And then off of this, we're going to pick one product and then start building out our entire Shopify store, which will be done pretty much in an instant with a certain way that we can build out stores now. With that said, let's get into my phone and I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can find a product on TikTok for free. All right, this is the last way of finding products, and this is actually the way I found a product that I ended up taking from zero to over $1,000 a day, which I talked about in the previous video on my channel. But this is the TikTok method, and as you can see right now, my saved videos are some ones that have crazy amounts of engagement. This one has 900,000 likes, this one has 220,000 likes, and we've got some other videos. I used this method pretty easily and I found some cool products, and so I'll show you exactly how to do it. All I'm going to do is just type in the word wrinkle and then search, and we will start to look around at different products that we can see in these videos. So we're already seeing the light that I've been mentioning and been seeing in the last two methods. I don't personally want to sell a face mask light. I'd rather sell something like this. Let's see how this works. Seems to be working well. And so what we'll do is we'll just keep searching and finding different wrinkle products. We can even type in wrinkle patches and see if there are cool products for the wrinkle patches on here. So we can see that video's got 500,000 likes, 1.3 million likes. This is what I do instead of Botox. And she's just showing off the wrinkle patches. Let's see. Nice. So the product seems to be working. It's good that we have content of wrinkle patches, because then that means all we have to do is just make a store and then set up the product page, and we can download some of those and use them as ads. And so that's pretty much all I do for TikTok product research. Now, one of the cool ways to keep finding products on there is once you find good videos, engage with them, like them, and then comment, follow those accounts, and do that for a few minutes a day. After a few days, if you just go through your feed, you'll start to see really good products. And that's what I've done. That's how I found that product. I don't know if I told you what it was, but it was a little retro camera that would take pictures and it came out retro style. That's how we found that product that went to over $1,000 a day in like a week or so. So that's another very easy product research method. Again, it's free, and I didn't want to pitch you guys on tons of crazy softwares and ways of doing this when there are so many good methods out there that are free. So with all of that said, hopefully you found a product. If not, rewatch this section and keep trying those methods out. Keep using the criteria until you have some sort of product you can actually sell. And this whole entire video, I will set up a website with the wrinkle patches in mind, because I think that product could do really well. I think the margins will also be extremely good. Knowing that, I hope you enjoyed the video so far. And in the next section of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build out your Shopify store from start to finish, from the actual product page to homepage to policy pages to apps and everything in between. And then we can get into marketing and then structuring your overall ads and everything in between. So with that said, I will get into building out a Shopify store so you can learn exactly how you can build one in an instant. We're now going to get into the overall store section of dropshipping, which is essentially the front-end website that people see and that they can buy your product on. For me, I've been doing this since 2017. Throughout these 7 years, I've personally been using Shopify, and they're usually $29 per month. However, they did just increase pricing to $39 per month. However, as you can see, I have a special link that I'm going to share with you guys to get Shopify for just $1 single dollar. So instead of the $39 a month, it'll be just $1 for your first month. On top of that, I'm going to show you a way to use a certain app to build your store. It's usually $14, but if you use this link, you get a $50 credit on the App Store. As of now, it may not always be valid, so I'd take advantage of it. But you can basically get a Shopify store for $1 and then build your store out with an app I'm going to show you, and you will basically be done with the store building process in less than 5 or 10 minutes. Building out your store usually takes a few hours, however, like I said. However, there's a way to do it way quicker. So if you want access to Shopify, again, I will have a link below to get it for just $1. I'm going to create my own store for $1, and then let's get started with building out the entire Shopify store from scratch. Once you guys have created your Shopify account for $1, I will have a link below to a certain app you guys should 100% use. And I say this because I used to dread making Shopify stores. This was the part of the video I always hated filming because it's very repetitive and boring to do. No one really likes building stores. And so what I'm going to show you in this video is the first time this has ever been shown on YouTube. It is a way to have an app generate your entire Shopify store. No, this is not a pre-built store that you guys probably see on TikTok and other stuff like that. It is literally generated based on whatever product you want to sell. So for example, let's just say I want to sell these wrinkle patches or these ones right here on AliExpress. All I will have to do is just copy the actual listing link, and you can do it with Amazon as well. Click start generation and then just paste the link in here and go to the next step. This part usually takes a few seconds, and it's essentially rewriting all of the copy on your actual listing, making it sound more professional, giving you a branded name. That way, it's not just the AliExpress listing information, which is one of the key things that I prefer over any other store builder that's out there. Is this one will generate your store with AI copy, and it just makes my life overall easier because I hate building stores. It was never something I really enjoyed doing. Once that's done, you can then remove some photos, so we can select that one and click delete, and then you can go to the next step. And then after, if you want to upload your logo, you can, or you can just click next step. And then here you have a branded name, Silky Skin Solutions, and then you have wrinkle patches right here. You can actually change the price. For me, I'm going to do $9.97. And then you have a lot of different copy that you will then get to see come to life in your website. So go to the next page and then you will have your entire Shopify store here, and you can preview it right there. But the colors aren't the best, I'm not gonna lie. So all you'll have to do is just change some of the coloring up and do what you want with it. So for this one, I'm gonna make it a little more salmony. So let's try and find a good color that we like. Let's see, that color is cool. And then you can just copy this color code and then paste it here if you want that secondary color to be the same. I do a pure white background, and then this is what the overall website looks like. You've got a money back guarantee, processing and shipping, and a warranty if you want that. If you don't, you can just go edit it on the theme settings, but then that's pretty much it. All the copy is there, and everything is done with AI, making your life easier. It also enhances all of these images. So as you'll see, they're pretty damn clear compared to the AliExpress photos. They're just not as clear. Some of the times you'll get AliExpress images that just aren't as crystal clear as they should be. And so this app will auto enhance all of the images, making them compressed and better quality. So this took me a few minutes, and I'm also talking you through it. It's taken me 47 seconds to build a store when I don't have to talk through it. However, it used to take me 2 or 3 hours to build a store when I was starting out with dropshipping. That's a lot of crucial time you can spend researching your product, researching a niche, making your content, your creatives, running ads, replying to customers. So personally, I don't really like to make the stores anymore. I would much rather use AI and have AI build me an entire store. So that is pretty much how you guys can generate your store. Now, this is only 14 bucks. So you then hit next, and then you'll just click purchase now, and the entire store, the product, the theme, everything will be loaded onto your store, just like you saw right here. And you can actually click the preview as well and just check out the entire website yourself to make sure it looks good. And that's pretty much it. It'll also do a good homepage for you. So once you do that and go to next step, you'll then just purchase a store and it's yours. And instead of spending 2 hours on building your store, you can make it in a minute or two with this app. So I'd strongly recommend it. We live in a world where it's not 2017 anymore, which is when I started dropshipping. You can have an app just build your entire store for you, which is a game changer. And if you're building your store manually in 2024, you're just wasting a lot of time. So that is the app. It's called Dropshipt. It's an AI store generator. I'm going to spend the 14 bucks right now, get the store loaded onto my website, and then show you the next steps for getting a supplier linked up to this product, and then a few different apps to just ensure everything is completely dialed in. So I'm going to do that right now, and then we will keep moving to perfect our website even further. I just purchased the store. Now it just takes a few seconds to actually load onto your store. And as you can see, it is now imported. Now, when we come to our theme section, you'll scroll down and you can see there is now a dropship theme right there. So all you have to do is just click publish and then click publish again. And if you need to customize anything, it is fully functional. That, for the most part, is how you guys will build your Shopify store moving forward. There are a few things we'll need to add, like a new logo, and then some footer information like policy pages and all of that good stuff. That's pretty easy, so we'll do that right now. And then we will get into some apps and getting the product sourced with a supplier that's reliable, because that is how you will fulfill these orders, which I'll show you the marketing and all that stuff later on in this video. But just know we're going to have to sync this product up with an actual supplier. That way, when someone buys your product, this supplier will get the customer's information automatically, and then they will overall process the order and get these wrinkle patches to your customer directly, where you don't even have to touch the product itself. So with all that said, let's go ahead and start working on the policy pages and go from there. What we'll do is click the settings on the bottom left. We'll scroll down and then go to policies. And then here is where you can generate all of the different policies you need for your website. You can create all of these from templates and then just go through and edit anything you want to change. So for example, this is one of my business emails. I definitely wouldn't put a business email on there. That's for personal use. And so when you make your email and everything like that for your store, make sure you're adding all of the proper information in here. And then you can create all this stuff from template. However, please keep in mind, these aren't finished. Like, you have to potentially insert your address. You have to input certain information, like last updated, you have to put a date. And so make sure you go through all of these and change some stuff up. For here, also, there will probably be little stuff that you'll have to tweak, make sure you do that. And then in contact, you can create contact information. And then for contact information, you can click generate a template, and then you can edit anything you'd like. If you don't want to use your physical address, you can get a PO box or a business address. It doesn't really matter. I personally would not put my home address. However, if you do not have a PO box, you can for now. Just as you scale up your business, I'd probably get a business address. And then after that, you just click save, and your policies are almost done. You'll then have to go to navigation, and then you'll have to go to footer menu right here, and then click add menu, and you will add a overall policy right here, and you can select terms of service, click add, and then you'll go here and go to policies and just add them all onto your footer menu. That way, for legal purposes, they are all on your website and visible, so that if any customer needs to see any of this information, they can. And if you don't do this, a lot of the times advertisers will not let you run ads, and they will suspend you if you don't have contact info, policies, terms and conditions, and terms of service and all of that. So make sure you have all of that stuff done. And then now what we can see is it should load into our website in a second or two. And then to make sure it shows up at the footer on here, you'll want to add a block and then add a menu. And then it will be quick links. You want to change that though. You want to just make it resources or something that sounds a little bit more professional, and then just click save. And now you have your very own website. Here is the product page, and it's looking really freaking good. However, there's a few things we'll want to add on with apps. So the website's looking good. However, we don't have a supplier yet. So let's sync up a supplier that I personally use on all of my dropshipping businesses. And it's who I trust with my dropshipping businesses overall to fulfill all of the orders. So this was how to build your store. Now let's get into how to get a supplier onto your store and link all of that up. It's pretty easy. And right now I will show you the best way of doing this whole part of the business. I know this is a little bit of a gray area, especially for beginners. So don't worry, it's not a scary part of the business. It's actually pretty simple, and I'll show you exactly how to set up everything right now. Now, the next thing we need to do is optimize the overall website with just a few apps. First, we're going to download Uplinkly Sticky Cart. This will keep an add to cart button on your website at all times. The reason we do this is just because sometimes people scroll on your website and you don't want them having to scroll back up. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but people are lazy. So you don't want them scrolling up and having to scroll up and down to actually go through and buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unselect automatically pick colors, and then I'll pick the color I would like for the background. And all I'm going to do is click enable. And then for this, I'm going to change it to page loads, which is it's always displaying, and then just click save. And that's literally it. That's all you really need to do. And now your store should have a sticky add to cart when you go to your website. So now, as you guys can see, I can go inspect and show you when you land on the website, it's going to have a sticky cart on the bottom. And as you scroll, it's still going to be there. So that's a perfect way to just set up an add to cart button. And it's very, very easy, as you just saw. Next, we need to install a reviews app. For this one, I will use A-Reviews. They're all pretty much the same, and some of these are a little pricey. I will say Dropshipt, the app I showed you on how to build your store out, that app will eventually have all of these features like a sticky add to cart, reviews, and tons of other stuff. But for now, I'm going to use this reviews app. We can skip the tour and then get straight into this. And then all we will do is click import reviews and then copy our AliExpress URL and then go back into A-Reviews, select this exact website and then paste the URL, click import. And then I'll just say 50 and let's translate them all with images and let's submit. And we will get all the reviews loaded onto our website in just a minute or two. So we got 6 reviews. That's it. That's not that many that have photos, but yeah, I guess that's good. Now all we're gonna do is just refresh and see if the reviews are on here yet, and they are. So now we have 6 reviews right here, and they look okay. The photos aren't the best, but this is just a testing store. Personally, as I would improve this website, which I'll get into later in this video, these reviews aren't going to cut it long term. What you want to do is you want to show before and after. And same with the product photos. They're fine for now. However, I'll show you how to perfect your website later on in this video. This is just the foundation of dropshipping, and this is the beginning. We're still going to get into all of the crazy stuff in the future. Once I show you how to run ads and everything like that, I'll show you how to progress past that and get to the point where you're scaling your store, you're improving your product page, you're improving your website, you're improving your offer and everything in between, because this is just the beginning of dropshipping. And to get to where you're making $1,000 a day, $5,000 a day, I'm sure you guys have big goals. To get to that point, there's some things you have to do to optimize your business. However, it's not smart to do so when you haven't even tested the product yet. So that's why I'm showing you the basics first, and then we will work our way up into the higher level stuff as we progress in this video. But with all that said, our website's looking really good. We now have a name, we have reviews, and we have a sticky add to cart. One thing we are missing is a logo. So I'll get into Canva and show you exactly how to make a logo. Very simple and easy. Doesn't require any crazy graphic design skills. It's honestly just plug and play little things and it'll come out great. For the store, Dropshipt, the AI store builder, gave us the name Silky Skin Solutions. Let's condense that into just Silky Skin. We can select the text bubble and then just type in Silky Skin, and we will make this a lot bigger. Let's do 60, a lot more. Let's go 200. Might be too big. That's actually perfect. And so we will move this up, and then all we're going to do is change fonts. So we'll look through and just pick a nice trustworthy font that will resonate well with our customers, and that will pretty much be it. We'll change the colors up as well, but other than that, that actually looks not bad. And then we'll change this to a salmon, something like that. I'm not going to lie, this is pretty much all you need for your logo. You can make it more complex and add some background images and make it all fancy. However, I'm going to be honest, I've scaled stores to over $500,000 a month, and most of the time we run a logo just like this, where it's literally just a nice simple font. We type up the brand name, and then that's pretty much it. We make the colors sync up and have a cool little setup, and that's it. That's all we really do. So once you have that, you'll go to your online store, and then you'll come into here and I'll show you how to quickly add the logo. You'll click customize. And if I'm going fast, I apologize. I've been doing this for 7 years. So if I am going fast, you can rewind to free video, rewind all you need, but we'll go to theme settings right here and then go to logo. And then all we're going to do is upload the logo. So let me grab it from my computer and I will throw it in here and upload it. And then I'm going to check how it looks on mobile. I want to make it a little bit bigger. That's kind of small for me. Okay, that looks pretty good. And that's pretty much it. So that is the logo for the website, Silky Skin. You just click save. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit the product name, and I want to make it Silky Skin Wrinkle Patches, or wrinkle patches is good. So then we'll go back and we'll go to products and we will edit this product page and just change the name. Silky Skin Wrinkle Patches. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure you change the product name in your description and everything like that. So I'm going to save that, and I will now check out our website and see how it looks. So let's just see. Yeah, so it should load. There we go. Now it looks a lot better. We have a logo, we have a branded name, we have a branded description, and everything else is looking pretty damn solid. We'll need to change some of this stuff, so we can just do that by going into the online store, and then you will go to customize, and then all you'll need to do is just find what section the piece of text is. So right here, we'll just click that, and let's highlight that, paste the actual name in, and then anything else, you'll just go scroll through and select whatever you need to edit. Let's do that right here. And the button label, we can just remove that by deleting the button label and the text. And then, okay, that's fine. It doesn't say the brand name. Let's keep looking. Button label, we will delete that. And then this button label, just delete the text and it'll disappear. Everything else looks pretty good. I'm going to keep deleting these buttons. They're not necessary. And we should be good. Hopefully this is helpful. I want to show you guys the little things about this. That way you can figure out how to use your Shopify account and overall just edit up your website if there's anything that is not looking right. But overall, it's now looking really good. Honestly, this is a website that's pretty solid. One thing I would remove is probably that share icon. I'll just remove it. it doesn't look the best. And now your website's looking pretty darn good, and it didn't take you 2 hours to build. It probably took you like 20 minutes to optimize, and that's a lot of time saved. So let's use that time and start getting into ads. This is the fun part where we drive traffic to our website to actually make money. And before we do, I actually am realizing there's one more thing I want to show you guys that we should change real quick. We have price as $9.97. Let's change the compare app price to $19.97 and just click save. Now that our website is good enough to start running ads, let's get into the marketing aspect of this entire business model. I will walk you through a few different ways you can advertise and scale your store. That way, what I mean by scaling is just generating more revenue, grow the business more. That's what scaling means. But I'm going to get into exactly how you can start off with a low budget, test out your product with some paid ads, because if you didn't know, no one will just find your website and stumble across it. It's not really possible. You have to do something, whether it's having viral content on TikTok or running paid ads. You have to do something to actually get people to come on your website. So I'm going to show you a few different ways of doing that, of driving traffic onto your website. And I will continue to give you more information throughout this entire video. So definitely stick around till the end. You can take some breaks if you need to. I know this will be a bit of a long one. However, all of this information is needed. And if you skip around, you might miss some things. So just sit tight and continue consuming all of this knowledge so that way you can soak it up and have it at your disposal so you can try out dropshipping and hopefully make some money with it. All right, our store is actually looking really good. We got apps installed to make the store look even better. We made sure to build the store out with Dropshipt so that we don't have to waste time building the store. There's just one step missing before we can be completely done with the Shopify side of things, and that is suppliers. And this is something a lot of people are scared about. They don't really know how to tackle it. So in this section of this free course, I will go over the best supplier to use and then how to sync it up with any product you plan to dropship. That way, when someone buys your product, a supplier is already synced up and ready to fulfill your orders, and you can trust them to actually fulfill your orders with quality products. So with all that said, let's get into the supplier section of this video. In this video, I will show you exactly how to not only download AutoDS onto your own website, but also how to get it for free for 30 days, as well as how to sync it with any product you're selling. And even if it's not on the AutoDS platform, you can import it from AliExpress and have them source the product. So either way, I will show you exactly how you can actually access all of that stuff and get your product linked up with the supplier. Like I said in the previous video, this is who I'm currently using to fulfill my orders. I do have a custom landing page with AutoDS, so you can try out my personal supplier for 30 days and just see how you like the platform and go from there. So what I'm going to do is click Get Started. So once you sign up and make an account, you will be somewhere around here. Now, this is an account that I set up for one of my test stores to kind of just show you guys how to do all of this. So let's say I did not know what to sell, or maybe you do, and it's on here. All you have to do is just basically search up the product. So let's just say I'm going to look for a swinging duck. I'll type in swinging duck. As you can see right here, they've got it for $2.37. They have it up here, but this is looking like it's people who imported the product and are listing it for sale within the US because it's 2-day shipping. That would be good, but the margins are just not there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to personally select this one, and you want to look around for any different products you're trying to sell. Make sure you get the best price, but this one seems pretty darn good, $22. So we're going to click it and just make sure it looks solid. Shipping is $3.92, so that would be a total of $5. Let's say I didn't want to sell that and wanted to sell, I don't know, let's just say I didn't even know really what product to sell. I'd go to handpicked products and then just try to pick something cool. So this is something Sebastian and I actually use personally. We have a shuffler right here. We play poker and we use this on the regular, so that's funny. And these are top trending products that are currently getting some good sales. So we can see the orders and how much this product is selling for. Like this one has over 500 orders in the last few days. And it is just a little sign that you can put in the back of your car. You can flip people off, I believe. Yeah, if you wanted to. And so that's pretty cool. This one, 23 orders, so not as many. So if you don't know what to sell and you don't really have much product research skill, you can just come in here and kind of surf around and see what product has already been selling well and then go from there. Like that's kind of all I'm doing right now. And there are actually some pretty cool products out here. Another thing you can do is filter by orders. So let's do over 3,000 orders, and then we can just kind of see which products have taken off. And so this is an anti-rain patch for motorcycle helmets. There's a toothpaste squeezer that can actually squeeze out more toothpaste for you. So there's a lot of interesting products here. So once you know what product you want to sell, what you're going to do is, if you haven't already, go to apps on your Shopify account. If you haven't made a Shopify store, I'll have a link below where you can get it for just $1. And you'll want to type in auto DS and then hit enter and go to the Shopify app store. If you haven't already done this, usually when you make an account though on AutoDS, they'll have you actually do that. But then after that, you'll just download this app right here and make sure you make an account if you haven't already. And then after that, you'll have an app just like this, which is the website we were just on. It just brings you to this website. And so once you have that all synced up and then you have a store here, if you don't have a store, just click add store and then it will update it. Once you do that, you'll just hover over any of these products and click import. For this one, I did it and now it's on a draft. So drafts are down here. All I would then need to do is click import if I'd like to, or I can edit any stuff I want to on the product page. For example, I can do the title, I can do this description, the variants, the images, item specifications. I could even do price on the variants if I'd like, or if you don't want to mess with this on AutoDS, you can just push it onto your overall store. So you can just click save and import, and it will now import onto your store. And so then you can go onto Shopify and go to products and refresh. And after a second or two, it's now been imported onto my store. So now I'll go on to Shopify, I will click products and then just refresh, and we should see the products. So as you can see, there it is. All we now have to do is just retitle it and do all that stuff. That's for another video. I probably actually have already covered this for you guys, but that's a very easy way to sync up a product with your own Shopify store. This is how you can import the product onto your website from a supplier. If you already have a product, watch the next video. It will be how to sync up products that are already on your Shopify store. Let's say you used an app like Dropshipt, the one to build your store, and you have a product, but there's no supplier linked up. I'll show you in the next video exactly how to sync up a supplier and a listing and one of these products with an existing product on your Shopify store. That way, AutoDS knows to fulfill those orders as well. So if you need that information, I'll see you in the next video. And if not, the next few videos, I will show you exactly how to fulfill orders with AutoDS once people start buying your product. Now that we've added AutoDS onto our store, we need to sync up the actual product on our Shopify store with AutoDS. So that way, once we get some orders in, we can actually fulfill them. And so once you have AutoDS and you have an account, it's actually very simple to link an unlisted product onto your AutoDS account to just make sure your orders are getting fulfilled. So all you'll have to do is click add a product, and then at the very bottom, it says untracked products. And so for this one, we will see it is these wrinkle patches right here. All we're going to do is click connect, and then it's going to ask for a URL. We're going to use the same one that we used for Dropshipt to generate the store. That way we have all of the same information. It's the exact same product. That way there's no confusion when you're getting your orders fulfilled. The last thing you want is to have a different listing on your product page showing a different product, and then you're fulfilling with a product that is not exactly the same. Customers will pick up on that. So make sure you're using the same exact listing. You'll paste the URL in here. Once you have it, it will grab just the product ID and remove everything else, so don't worry. And then you'll just click add. And from here, all that's going to happen is it will load up, and then you want to select whatever variant. So I'm going to go onto the listing and make sure I select the right variant. I'm going to probably select the 16-piece one. I want to make sure they get the right variant when I fulfill these orders. So I'll select the 16-piece variant and then just click connect. And now it will connect to our store. So now we can go to products. And now we're actually synced up with a supplier, and every time we make orders, we're going to be able to fulfill on AutoDS because they've already synced up our products. Picking a supplier is always something that's foreign territory when you're starting out dropshipping. So just to sum it up, AutoDS will be handling all the fulfillment. So once someone comes on and buys your wrinkle patches, all that's going to happen is once someone buys your product on your website, AutoDS will get the customer info. They'll ship out the product to them directly, and then you essentially just make the profit and pay AutoDS whatever the product costs. It is very straightforward, and if you don't have any idea what to sell, I know I already went over some product research methods. However, I also do scroll through here a lot and go through the handpicked products as well as the TikTok spy section. This is overall, you can go with organic and TikTok shop or advertising, but it's cool because you can actually filter by a few different things. And then I just look on here to see what are the most viral products that are being sold, but more specifically, the trending products. This is a new one that's essentially just the TikTok shop. So you can go here and check out all of the top selling products. You can see they've sold 217,000 units of this individual creatine product. And then for this, I would just look and see viral products that are getting a lot of attention. This is a little air purifier. They've sold 67,000 units at $30. They've done, $1.8 million in sales with that product. So really good revenue. And you can go through here and get a good inspiration for what you can sell and dropship and then sell it yourself. So this is another good way. If you have a good niche, you can just type in, for example, wrinkle, and see if there's any, well, we're going to see a lot of that, but see if there are any cool products. Like this is a deep collagen anti-wrinkle lifting mask. They're actually doing really, really well. 12,000 units sold at a $25 price point. That means they've done around 300 grand with this little wrinkle mask. And so this is another very easy way to find products, and it's with AutoDS. If you want to use AutoDS, I will have a special link below where you guys can get a completely free trial to try it out, check out the platform, see how it works for you, and start dropshipping the right way with a good supplier. Well, now our website is done. We've synced up suppliers, apps, built out the store. We are pretty much good to go with the front end of your Shopify store. There are some little things like shipping that I did not show you. So you can go onto settings and then go on shipping and delivery and edit the shipping how you like. If you want to do a cheap product and then charge shipping, you can do so. Or if you want to do free shipping, make sure you just set it up based on the weight of your product. You can go on the product listing, scroll down and edit the weight. And for example, you can just put 0.1 pounds, click save. That way the shipping is corresponding with the weight of your product. But other than that, the store is done. Congratulations if you guys stuck this through and actually built out a store along with me. Now comes the fun part, which is driving traffic onto your dropshipping website. All right, our entire Shopify store is now built. We have a supplier, we have apps, everything is good to go, and we are ready to start running ads. Before we get to that, I want to cover a case study on a store that I just recently took from zero to over $1,000 a day. So you can see that this method still works. And then after that, I'll show you the exact marketing strategy I use to start and grow dropshipping businesses with paid ads. I will also go over a complete organic strategy that you can use even if you have no money. So with that said, let me tell you a little bit about this store that I took from zero to over $1,000 a day with this exact strategy. As promised, I'm going to reveal a product that I just recently sold around a month ago and took from zero to almost $1,500 a day in like 10 days. And here's the proof. I can kind of show you right there. As you can see, the name on the top is Retro Snap, and we took the product from zero to almost $1,500 a day profitably. And so I'll explain the product. I'll show you the product. I have it pulled up right here so you can see it. The product, the website, the offer, everything in between, and then show you the creatives. That way, when I show you the ad strategy, you know I'm talking some actual game and not just pulling shit out of my ass like some of the YouTubers on here. Since you guys saw the revenue, let's get into the product. So as you can see, Retro Snap, and we can click shop now, and I will go through the product page. Now this website is a little bit more dialed in. I'm going to talk about that later on, why that is important. Keep in mind, when we started the store out, it did not look anything like this. It was very similar to the store I just built out in front of you guys. So here was the landing page. It was $50. We were getting it sourced for around $20. So margins were okay. Not going to lie, they could have been better. And we had 3 variants. And so as you can see, this is the overall product page. We have air quote 14,000 reviews. We didn't actually have that many reviews. That's just a piece of text, but it looks very similar to the website we just set up. However, the differences are the content. So as you can see, we definitely optimized the content a lot more, showed off the people using the product and displaying people actually using it and showing it off. And that's something that plays into the scaling aspect of every dropshipping store we do, which again, I'll mention later on in the video. There's like 3 or 4 things once a product starts working that you must do to scale them past, 1,000 to 5 to 10K per day. And if you don't really do them, your store probably just won't scale. But this was the overall landing page. The product was not too complex. We just saw this retro vintage style was going viral. It's basically just shitty quality photos right here of some girls, and all these girls were posting stuff like this on TikTok all the time. And so we saw it as an opportunity to kind of capitalize on this vintage retro style photography being viral, and we sold a little camera. And that's all we did. But we simply just downloaded videos from TikTok. We edited them up to make them look a little bit more appealing. And then after that, all we pretty much did was set up the campaigns I'm about to show you. We tested out the product for 2 or 3 days. The first day did not perform well at all. And then after a few days, the product started to pick up, and we started spending the same amount of money and generating 3 to 4 times what we were spending, which on day 1 and 2, we were losing a little bit of money, but it was okay because as you'll learn, ads are not always going to be profitable day 1. Most of the time, you have to spend money to have your account learn who you're trying to sell to, and then over time, it optimizes. So knowing that this is still possible, dropshipping still works. I just showed you a screenshot from like a month ago. Now that you've seen a product and some revenue proof, I want to get into my exact ad strategy and how you can market your dropshipping business. And I will also show you organic ways of doing so if you don't have a lot of money to spend on ads. So with that said, let's get into my computer and I will show you exactly how you can market your dropshipping business, because this is where you actually make the money. Before I show you how to set up your ads, I want to go over terminology, because there are a lot of acronyms and certain sayings I'm going to use throughout this next little bit of the video. And if you don't know the terms I'm referring to, it might confuse you. So I want to go through the terminology before I show you the exact strategy. So let's just go over it. I have just a few, and if you know these, you'll know a lot of the basic stuff, which is pretty much all you need. Number 1 is going to be ROAS. I pronounce it ROAS. Now, when I say ROAS, I mean return on ad spend. This is going to essentially mean it is the multiplier of money you put in compared to what you get out. So if you put in $50 on ads and you generate $100, you guys can guess your ROAS. It will be 2, because again, you put $50 in and your revenue was 100. That is just 50 times 2, or 100 divided by 50. That is a 2x ROAS. So ROAS is the number 1 thing you should learn. Number 2, CPA, cost per acquisition or cost per purchase. This is how much it costs you to generate a purchase with paid ads. So if you spend $50 and you generate, let's just say 2 sales, that will equal out to a $25 CPA. Another one is CPC, cost per click. This is the average cost for each link click from your ad. So let's say you spent $10 and you got 100 clicks on your ad. That would give you a 10-cent cost per click. The next one is CPM. This is going to be cost per milli, or the cost per 1,000 impressions. An example, if you get 10,000 impressions and you spent $70 on ads, what would the CPM be? That would end up being $7 per milli, or per 1,000 impressions. The next is CVR. This is conversion rate. Now, this is essentially the amount of people who purchase divided by the amount of visitors on your website. So I'll pull out my little calculator, and if you get, let's just say 3 purchases and you divide it by, let's say you got 100 website visitors, there's 100, you hit equal, you'll get a 0.03, which is a 3% conversion rate. That means out of every 100 website visitors, you're going to have 3 people purchase. Now, all of these are very important. You need to keep an eye on them when you're running your ads and when you're scaling your dropshipping store, because if your ROAS is negative and you're not profitable, that's something that you should look at and then be like, okay, I should turn ads off. So an example, if you get a product, let's just say you sell it for $50, okay? And so let's say you run ads and you spend $25 to sell the product and you get 1 sale, that would mean you have a 2 ROAS. Now let's say your cost to actually fulfill that order is $15. So it costs you $15 to fulfill this $50 product, and then you spend another $25 on ads. That would mean you have a $10 margin, which would be 20%. That's not bad. And so keep an eye on those numbers, because if you, for example, spend $40 to get a $50 purchase, and then you still have to spend the $15, well, now you're in a $50 order for $55, which means you lost $5 on that order. Same thing with CPA. If you are going to be spending, again, $40 to acquire a customer, and you're selling a product for, let's just say, $40, you're not going to be profitable because you still have to fulfill the order. Cost per click, I'm always looking for a 10 cent to 50 cent cost per click. However, the lower, the better, as long as I'm profitable. A lot of these metrics are vanity metrics. The only ones I really pay attention on are CPA and ROAS. However, before I get either of those, so before I get any purchases and before I have a ROAS, I will look at my CPM and my CPC, because that will just tell me if the ads I'm using are good, if the targeting or the creatives I'm doing are good, and if the product is good. If I'm getting a $2 CPC, that's bad. And then if my CPM is something like $20, that's pretty high. I typically look for a $12 or less CPM. So those are just a few metrics you should keep an eye on. Now for conversion rate or CVR, I'm looking for a minimum of 2%. If you're getting a sub 1% conversion rate, that is very bad. If you're at 1.5 and getting close to 2, that's good. However, at scale, we do a 3 to 5% conversion rate, meaning every 100 visitors we get, we usually convert about 5 of them. We've even had really good funnels where we get upwards of a 10 to 15% conversion rate, which is really good and it's rare. However, it does happen. The higher the conversion rate, the better, because that means you can spend the same amount to get the clicks. However, if more people buy, you are going to make more money. So that was basic marketing terminology. Now that you know that, let's get into the overall ad strategy so I can show you exactly how to start setting up your ads to generate clicks and potentially generate sales on your dropshipping store. It's now time to go over TikTok ads. So before I go through the exact strategy, I want to first just show you how to set up your TikTok account and then how to sync it up with your Shopify account. So first, I'll provide another link below. And I know I say this a lot. However, all of these platforms that I'm going to talk about, they give me better deals than if you just go and sign up. And so that's their way of incentivizing me to basically promote their platform. I already use Shopify, AutoDS, and TikTok ads, so it's not a big deal to promote them, because then I'm able to pass you guys on a better discount than if you just search it up. So I'll have a link below for TikTok ads to get an account, and people are even getting ad credits back. If you, let's just say, spend $100, you can get $100 back. So use the link below and maybe you can get those credits. Once you sign up and make an account, you'll want to make sure you go to the ads manager and make sure that's all good to go. So first thing, you'll have to set up your payment details. And then once you do that, you want to type in TikTok and then go to the TikTok app right here. And then this is essentially where you will start to sync up your overall TikTok ad account with your Shopify store. So I'll click install. Once the TikTok app is installed, you'll then go down here and click set up now. And then this is where you'll connect your overall TikTok business account. And so we will connect it right now. Click connect. Next, I need to select the business center. I'm using this one on top, so I'll click connect. And then for ad account, it's going to be this one. Whatever yours is that you're creating, just make sure you select the right one. For data sharing, I will do maximum. And then there is a pixel that was just created right now for this store. So then I'll just click confirm and make sure it's confirmed on the actual TikTok app. And then after that, you just click finish setup. And now you should have an overall TikTok pixel on your website. I'm going to check, and as you can see, there is a TikTok pixel. This is the TikTok pixel helper, and you can now see that there's a TikTok pixel validating all of this data that we are viewing content and all of that. And then if I click buy now, it should register a whole new pixel, and it's saying it's starting checkout. So that's perfect. The pixel is now working. If you don't know what a pixel is, imagine it as a tracker on your website. So if you click my website right now and you scroll through it, my pixel will track who you are. And then that way we can retarget you. We can understand if you add anything to cart, if you buy. That way, that information all gets fed into your TikTok ad account. So then on here, when we start to create campaigns, we can see which ads are getting sales, what the ROAS is, what the cost per click is, and all of that stuff. However, if you don't have a pixel installed, it's impossible to see all that data. And knowing all of the data is very important, especially as you scale on. So with all of that set up, now what we need to do is start creating ads. Before I show you how to create an ad campaign, I need to first show you how to actually make the ads that we will use for TikTok. And what I mean by this is the visual aspect of your marketing. So the video you're going to use to run ads on TikTok. So I'll get onto my phone, I'll screen record my phone, and then I will show you how to source content from TikTok, how to edit it in a way that will actually convert traffic into purchasers. And then after that, we'll throw it into TikTok ads, and we will get some TikTok campaigns set up so that way we can run ads and you know exactly how to market your dropshipping business. All right, the basic way to get creatives is not by filming your own content. We are dropshippers here. We're not brand builders yet. However, I'll cover that later on. But to start out, you want to test products quickly. So the way of doing that is just sourcing existing content. Now, this is not recommended at scale. I don't recommend you guys use these videos and scale to 10K per day. However, if you want to test a product on a low budget and you don't want to spend a week trying to film creatives yourself, you can do this. And so essentially all you have to do is type in whatever product you want to sell. So for this example, we will use wrinkle patches. That's what I've typed in on TikTok, and then just scroll and see what good videos you can find. So already I'm seeing the exact product that we're selling right here on Derma Clara. All I'm going to do now is just download a few of these videos and we can use them as ads. And so what I'll do here is I will copy this URL, and then I'll go onto Safari, go onto snaptic.app, paste the URL right here. There we go. And then just click download. And it'll take a second, and then you can download it right here. Let's just make sure we do the right one. Let's do HD. I think it said there was an ad, but it's all good. And then just click download. Once it is downloaded, you'll see it right here. And then you can hit that bottom left button, go here, and click save video. Now you have one video downloaded. You should do this with 3 to 5 creatives. Just keep copying the link on here. Then you'll just refresh the page, paste a new one, and then download a few of the videos until you think you have enough to run ads. Again, I recommend everyone do at least 3 to 5 when you're starting out to give your product a fair chance, because if you're only testing with 2 videos, your product could be good. However, if the videos are bad, you're not giving the product enough chance to actually win because you're using creatives that aren't really the best. And so that's what I'll do if there's existing content out there for the product. If there's not, it's a little trickier. What you can do is go on Instagram, you can go on Pinterest, you can go on YouTube and download any videos you can find. However, it is, again, a little bit difficult. And then you'll need to use something like InShot to actually edit all of the content together to make it look more professional and better as an ad. And then you'll have to add some text and make it salesy, add an offer, maybe if it's like free shipping or buy one, get one free, whatever the case may be. That's where you'll start to actually edit the content to make it look even better. This is something a lot of people don't put enough emphasis on. So I'll just show you a few of our winning creatives for the retro camera I talked about earlier. This is an example. So we are saying that they can get this style of video or of photos with this camera. I can turn it up so you can hear it.
Before they're all sold out. And I'm going to show you the photos I've taken on it. I used her on.
So we have that girl selling the shit out of the product, and then we edit other clips up together just to make it look good. Here's another one.
I've been wanting a digital camera to get photos like this, or cute group photos like this. But I found this insane deal. I think ends next week, so make sure you grab one before they're all sold out. And I'm going to show you the photos.
So we're using that girl multiple times to get new ads and new clips, and the only thing we're changing is the hook. So we're essentially just taking different hooks, taking different beginning intros to try and get new audiences into our store and into our website to actually buy the product. Here's another one I can show you. Just a song, so I can turn it down. But this is your sign to get the viral vintage camera. Our ads and our creatives that we use are great. They look amazing. However, they look native. So we're running ads on TikTok. We're not going to make them look like some movie that was made for, like, it just took so much time to produce. We want to make the video look organic, so that way people don't get the vibe that it's an ad. If we have videos that are like, hey guys, get these wrinkle patches. They do this, 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 and they will save you so much time and effort, and you will look so good because you won't have wrinkles anymore. It's too salesy. Like, I'm just going to be honest. And so having a more organic approach towards your ads will just allow you to get better results. This is where we bring up some of the terms I mentioned, like CPA, CPM, CPC. All of your metrics like those will just be a lot more affordable, and you will be way more profitable compared to if you try the traditional salesy ad route. Now, you can do it. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm just saying I've spent millions of dollars on TikTok ads, and the best ads are the ones ones that don't even look like ads. So please take my input. And once you guys make 3 to 5 creatives, now you're good to go. Now we can get back on my computer and start to set up the overall TikTok ad campaigns to get some money spent so we can start driving traffic and hopefully purchases onto our website. With that said, I will see you guys on my computer, and let's go through the exact ad strategy that I use to take that retro camera from zero to over $1,000 a day in sales in just a week or so. At this point, you should have your whole TikTok ad account synced up with your Shopify store. And if you still are just watching the video and haven't yet even started your store, be sure to use the link I provide below to get Shopify at a discount. Instead of $39, it's only one single dollar. So I'll have a link below to access that discount. So let's get into my computer and I'll show you exactly how I test products, my exact testing strategy. It's pretty darn simple. However, by the end of this little section in the video, you'll know exactly how to test products and understand if the ads you're looking at, like the overall metrics and costs, if they're good or not, because that's one thing a lot of people are confused about. They'll set up ads, run them, and then by the end of it, they're like, okay, I ran ads, but I don't know if they're profitable. So I'll show you exact metrics to look for. So I'm going to start screen recording on my computer and we will get into here showing you exactly how to just set up a basic testing campaign. Firstly, you'll want to log into your TikTok ad account. And then for me, I am clicking campaign to start setting up a campaign. Quickly, I want to go over what a campaign is, what an ad group and an ad is, because when I started back in 2017, I had no clue what the hell this stuff was and what it meant. So TikTok does a good job of kind of displaying it. A campaign is a folder that is basically just saying, what are you doing? Like, what's the overall goal with these ads? And so we'll click create and I'll walk you through it. So a campaign, again, you're just telling TikTok, what's the goal? Like, right? What is your overall goal? Are you trying to reach more people? Are you trying to just get clicks? Are you just trying to get views? Are you trying to get people to follow you and interact? Are you trying to get app signups? Are you trying to get leads or website conversions? Hint, hint. Or product sales, which you can do either. I personally do website conversions because it is a conversion on our website. If you're running TikTok Shop, which is something I will definitely cover on my channel in the future, then you will want to select that one. So subscribe if you guys want to learn how to dropship on TikTok Shop. That needs to be a whole other video because there's a sick new way of doing it. So for this video though, we will talk about website conversions because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people off of TikTok and onto our website to purchase any product we're selling. So we will select website conversions. So just keep in mind, categories is what the F are you doing with your ads? You're trying to run them to get purchases or conversions. And so for this one, we can just do CBO test day 1. You can title it whatever you want. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, or we can do like, I don't know, if you want to put the product name in there, you can. For this, I'll just say CBO test day 1. And then after that, we are going to go down here to campaign budget optimization. You'll want to turn that on, and keep in mind, it does say to optimize performance at least 2 ad groups. So that will be important later on, but we will just put $50. So this means we are going to spend up to $62 on some days, but essentially an average of $50 every single day on your campaign. So that is the overall budget for this folder. Now, like it said, there are at least 2 ad groups for each campaign to make sure the campaign optimizes properly. If I turn this off, there's no budget on the campaign, which is then when we can give budget to each individual ad group. However, it's a little complicated, so just turn on campaign budget optimization, which is CBO, and then we'll click continue. Now this is what's called the ad group. So you already deal with the what, now it's who. So what the F are we doing is the campaign. We're gonna run ads for conversions. Who the hell do we run these ads to? That is ad group. And then how, ads, well, I'll get into ads after, but for who the hell are we running our ads to? That's the ad group. We're going to first select the pixel that we just created. We'll then select the complete payment. There's probably not going to be any activity. That's fine. You are on a brand new pixel, so shouldn't really expect there to be any. For placement, I do select placement. I just remove global app and then Pangle. And then you can also turn off comments if you want them to be off, and video download and sharing. You can do sharing or download if you want. It's not that big of a deal. And then after that, for me, I live in the United States of America proudly. And so I'm going to do United States location, gender. It should be female only. However, for us on TikTok, we see a lot better performance by just letting it spend for both male and female. TikTok tends to optimize pretty well. And then for age, we will just do 18 plus. That way we're not getting little kids watching our shit because they probably don't have wrinkles and probably don't want to buy this product. Honestly, for wrinkle care, you could even do above, but for most products, just do 18 to 20 or 18 to 55 plus. Now, if you are selling a higher ticket item, you could turn on high spending power. I'm not. I'm selling a product that's like 20 bucks. So I'm going to leave it for languages. I personally only want to do English because I set up my ads in English. So if I had people that spoke Mandarin watching my ads, it probably wouldn't convert. So I will just do that. We're not going to do any interests. As you guys can tell, it's open. The whole ad group is open. All we're telling it is, hey, just run ads to 18 plus. That's pretty much it. And the reason we do that is because TikTok is very good at figuring out who your target audience is. So back in the day when I used to run Facebook ads heavily, I still do. We do really well with Facebook, but back when I started, you would have to pick an interest and you'd have to do a lot of research and figure out what are the best interests. And stuff has changed a lot. I don't even use interests on Facebook or Instagram, and TikTok is the same way. It's just a whole lot easier when the platform does all the heavy lifting for you and they find the audience, which is what I utilize with TikTok. So again, no interests. For schedule, we want to make sure we schedule this for tomorrow, and you can do midnight if you want, or you can do a little bit after midnight, like 2 or 3 a.m. I'll just do 4 and click OK. And then if you want to day part, you can. Day parting essentially is telling TikTok, only spend money on these times. So if I only want to run ads from 4 a.m. to midnight, I would just select 4 a.m. to midnight. And then from 12:01 to 3:59, it wouldn't run any ads. And so for now, we can clear it. However, as you guys run ads and if you maintain profitability and you're making tons of money, see when your most profitable hours are. And then in the future, set up campaigns and test maybe like, I don't know, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. it's working really, really good. And so you turn on a campaign or an ad group just for those hours, and it could potentially print you a lot of money. So definitely keep an eye on the peak hours for your store. But for now, we're going to leave it on all day. And then here you can leave all that stuff. And then now we've already dealt with what are we doing and then who the hell are we selling to? And now it's how. How are we going to actually sell to them? That is with the visual. So it's what, who, how, basically. For this, all you need to do is upload some videos. So like I showed you how to get creatives, I already kind of showed you that. I didn't edit these up perfectly. However, I'm going to just upload 2. So for this, I've uploaded a video. I'm going to add another, and then I will essentially go right here, click upload again, and then upload the second video. And for this, I recommend you guys do 5. I only downloaded 2 just to show you guys as a demo, but just keep adding until you do 5 whole videos. And then for the text, you want to have something very simple. All I'm going to do is get rid of wrinkles, sale ends at midnight. And then for call to action, you can edit it if you'd like, or just do standard shop now. I'm going to leave on dynamic. That way it'll basically just test all sorts of different call to actions like order now, learn more, shop now, and see what's the best option. And then it's now asking for a URL. So all I'm going to do is go onto our store. You can select products, hover over whatever product you're selling, click an eyeball, and then copy the URL. For me, I'm on Mac, so it's Command C, and then go back onto TikTok, paste it with Command V, and it should be good to go. This domain might not work because my store is private, but that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. And if you do end up crushing it with ads, do not check this box, because if you do, TikTok will be allowed to show your exact product. And I don't want you guys to get exposed if you're running up a product. I didn't know this back in the day, and I had that button checked, and all of my winning products were getting leaked on the TikTok Creative Center, where TikTok was literally flexing my exact videos and ads and everything because I allowed them to. So don't do that. But that's pretty much it. All you have to do is just, again, paste the URL and then you're good to go. I did forget to do the custom identity, and so I'm going to do silky skin and then this person does not exist.com. I'll just keep refreshing this until I find a girl that is of age that I can put as our profile picture. Oh, that one was good. Damn. We'll keep going. That one's, let's keep going. That looks good. Okay, so we'll use this and we will screenshot that and then we'll just throw it right here. Cool. So now we can click create, and that is now our identity. So when you're running ads, it looks like a, nice girl right there. And then you can go here and select the identity. And now you are pretty much good to go. We'll paste that URL. It may actually let us publish it. Let's see. Once you do that, all you'll have to do is click submit. And then I might have some issues on my ads just because the URL is not a legit URL. My store is not even live yet. So that is probably going to be an issue. I'll need to also add a payment method. So I'm going to do that right now. My campaign is as a draft, but yours should be either active or pending or in review. And once you have that one single ad group live, you want to go here and you want to select it. You'll want to duplicate it 4 times, adding a total of 5 ad groups. So when you go into your campaign, after you do that, you should have 5 total ad groups. Now, the reason we do this, and it sounds a little weird because you don't change a thing. You literally just duplicate the ad groups and let them run. You have to understand we are running ads to probably like 50 million people, maybe 100 million people, maybe we'll just say 50 million. It's very hard for TikTok to pick the right audience off the bat. And so what I personally do and what I do with pretty much all of my campaigns is exactly that. Because if an ad group picks the wrong pocket of the audience to start showing the product and ads to, it can show as a false, not a winner product. Just because the pocket of the audience on TikTok that it picked to start off on wasn't really good, because at the end of the day, you're giving TikTok only $50 and it has its eyes basically closed and you're asking it to get you purchases. So the reason I have multiple ad groups is so one of these 5 ad groups may pick the right area of TikTok's audience to actually sell to. That's the right audience. That way we can make sales, and then I'll go from there. So that's how you set up your test campaign. You'll have this turned on, and tomorrow you're going to have ads live. So that's cool. That's great. Congratulations. You're ready to rock and roll. What happens after this though? This is where the make or break happens if you actually find success or not. That is after this whole fact. Like you've done all of the prerequisite work and now you're ready to launch your store. However, what if these ads flop? What if they do good? What do you do? How do you do it? All that stuff. I want to cover it right now and just essentially explain to you what the next step is. So that way, if something does work out very well for you, you know exactly how to scale these ads up and make even more money. So you're going to run these ads, and tomorrow you're going to wake up, check them out. If you have a cost per click, which is again, CPC, cost per click, which I'll show you real quick, you can go into columns, click custom columns, and then go down here. On page events, all you'll do is select a few different things that we want to add. So complete payment ROAS, we want to know what that is. So we will select total. Complete payment, we will select cost per complete payment so we can understand when we get purchases, what are we paying per purchase, or CPA. And then after that, we'll want to add the cost per add to cart, the amount of add to carts, the cost per initiate checkout, the total initiate checkouts, and anything else that is important. I actually guess TikTok, yeah, this isn't even a preset. They already have CPC, CPM, impressions, clicks, click-through rate, CPA, cost per acquisition. Okay, so this is good. We're going to save this money, because that's what we're hopefully going to make. And then just click confirm. Now, when you run the ads, you'll have all of these different numbers to look at. So for CPC, which is right here, this is how much it costs, the average amount each click costs you. You don't want anything close to $1. If you're 80 cents, 90 cents, that's not good. You want to be anywhere from 10 to 50 cents. And if it's higher than that, I would recommend maybe running it for another day max. But if you're pushing 90 cents, $1, over $1, definitely turn the ads off after a day. CPMs, you should look for $8 to $12. Anything less is really good. And when you get into $15 to $20, it's getting a little bit expensive, at least on TikTok. Those metrics are good for early on signs of success or no success. However, the true valuable metrics you should look at are CPA, because if you're selling a product for $20, and like I already talked about before we got into ads, but let's say you sell a product for $20, your CPA is 20 and you fulfilled the order for $6, how the hell are you going to fulfill that order, right? Like it's not going to be profitable. So you need to make sure you keep an eye on your CPA and know your break-even cost per purchase, or CPA. That way you know what to look for and you know what your maximum amount you can spend per purchase will be. So for example, if you have a $20 product and you get it for $6, you can spend up to $14 on a purchase without losing money. That's your break-even CPA. It's just the sell price minus the cost of goods. That's all it is. And then same thing with over here, we'll have ROAS. This is return on ad spend. You want to keep an eye on this to just also make sure you're profitable. If you're spending $20 and getting $20 out, that's a 1 ROAS. It's a multiple basically of how much money is put in to how much you generate. You don't want to scale a product unless you have a healthy ROAS of a 2.5 to 3 ROAS minimum. If you have a 1.5 or a 2 and you're not even scaled, it probably won't work out well, because as you increase the budgets of your ads, the profitability will start to taper down a little bit. And so you want to make sure you have healthy margins, which is why I always keep an eye on ROAS and CPA. So that's pretty much how you test out your product with TikTok ads. Very, very simple. If you want more in-depth information on this aspect of the business, I'll have a link below, or go to howtodropship.com. We have a completely free course where you can learn more of this stuff in depth, but I now want to get into exactly how you scale up these ads, if they're working out well, what to do, how to bump up the budget, when you should scale, and all that stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed the testing strategy, but now it's time to talk about scaling. So I'm going to go over all of that stuff right now for you. That way, if a product works out well for you guys, you know exactly how to scale up your store and actually make even more money. Scaling is actually very easy. It's not something that's super scary or that you should be terrified of, because it's a good thing. Once your business is profitable enough, you can grow the business, which is essentially what I mean by scale. Now, there are things you should look into doing before you scale up heavily. Like for us, we never push stores past a few $1,000s per day before we actually optimize our website, optimize our offer, and optimize our content or creatives. And what I mean by optimize is we just perfect things. Like if the video ads are okay, we'll make them even better. If our landing page or our Shopify store is okay, we will improve it with better photos, better copy. We'll even compress images to make our website speed even faster. These are little things that you should definitely be doing before you take your store to the next level. But essentially all we are doing when we're growing our business with ads is we're increasing the budget. So like I said, when we talked about testing, you should look at day parting and look at those top peak hours. We'll then launch campaigns with peak hours in mind and set our ads to only run a few hours every single day at the peak hours. We do this to maximize profits and minimize all of the losses on other hours that just aren't really getting us good results. On top of that, we do something called surf scaling. This has been a huge scaling strategy with TikTok, and essentially it is, if you have this campaign at $50 a day and you run it and it's working out really well, and maybe it's noon and you've spent 20 bucks and you already have 3 purchases, you're crushing it. So at that point, what you do is you just edit the budget, you bump it up from $50 to $100, and then you let it spend for another hour or two. If you keep getting sales, that's a really good sign. So then all you do is you just ride the wave of profitability and continue to increase the budget. We've done this on campaigns that start at $50 one day, and by the end of the day, we have them set at a $5,000 budget, profiting us thousands of dollars by just editing the budget. And I know it sounds a little silly, but it's a very simple way to grow your business if you do the actual work with optimizing the store and the creatives and everything in between. Because if you try to scale and your offer isn't that good, you're not going to maintain profitability at a high daily ad spend. It's just not realistic. There's probably not going to be as many people interested in buying your product if you haven't done the work to fully dial in everything on the back end before spending a lot more money on ads. Now we are at this moment where you're excited, you just learned how to start a dropshipping business, and you're fired up. I do want to let you guys know some sobering information. It took me personally 25 products before I found a winner, and I've been doing this since 2017. And I'm not even talking when I started dropshipping, I'm talking when I just started running TikTok ads after I was already a millionaire from dropshipping on Facebook. So TikTok, while it's great, don't expect to get rich on your first store. I don't want to have you guys go after this video, try out your first product, and get discouraged if something doesn't work out. If you pick up playing piano, the first day you try it, you're gonna suck. It's going to be destroying everyone's ears around you, and it's not gonna be something pleasant to be around. However, as you progress and keep playing piano every single day, after a month, maybe 2 months, you can play a song or two. And after 6 to 12 months, you'll become extremely skilled in pretty much anything you try out. So that's why with dropshipping, yes, your first product may flop. However, look at it like an instrument. You just have to keep putting in the reps and trying and learning from your mistakes, and stuff will start to click. With all that said, that is phase 1 of dropshipping. That's how anyone watching can start a dropshipping business and start it. However, the thing that takes you from $100 per day to $10,000 per day, That's in the phase 2 section, which is optimizing everything, just dialing in your business and making it legitimate and perfecting all of the little things to make you more money. There's things like scaling onto Facebook and Google. There's things like optimizing your creatives, your landing page, building out custom photos for your product page, getting custom content, even more apps, doing post-purchase upsells, and tons of other stuff that would kind of overcomplicate it for you right now, being a beginner. However, this again is only step 1. You could easily make at least a couple $100 a day with the dropshipping information I just gave you. But if again, you want to get to the next level, I'll have a link below where you can access all of that phase 2 type of information, where me and my business partner filmed for the last 6 months a full video series going over exactly how we take our dropshipping businesses from 0 to 7 figures per month in 2024. Inside that program is basically everything we wish we had when we started dropshipping. So again, I'll have a link below if you want any more information on that. And I will say that is going to be a paid program, and I don't want anyone who's just potentially glancing at dropshipping to look at that, because if you are not serious, I don't want you to join that. However, if you are still on the fence, you can go to, again, howtodropship.com. It's a completely free program. You can sign up for that and go through our entire free program, which is similar to this video, just a lot more in depth with more information, more faces. It's me, my business partners, and we all talk about exactly how we run our businesses and show you step by step in greater depth how to start and scale your very own dropshipping business. So with that said, 2024 is the time to start dropshipping. Whether you're selling random wrinkle products, swinging ducks, shoes, flippers, sweatshirts, bikinis, whatever the case may be, getting on TikTok and selling products on that platform is a complete gold mine, and it's a cash cow for us right now. So I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. So please take action on all of this information you just learned. And with that said, I wish you the best of luck. Subscribe if you want to see more dropshipping content. I'll be putting out some stuff on the TikTok shop, some challenge videos, and maybe interviewing some of my students that have already succeeded and done really well to further show you what is possible with dropshipping. And with all of that said, again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one.